Hey everyone, if you're 40, 50, 60 years old and have little or nothing saved for retirement, I'm here to tell you that it's not too late. Nearly half the population has less than $5,000 saved for retirement, and 3/4 of the population aged 55 to 64 has less than $100,000 saved. My recent video on retirement savings dissected that a lot of people are going to need at least an $800,000 nest egg to live comfortably, and now I realize this was probably alarming to a lot of you. Today, I'm going to share a few steps that you can take over the next few years if you want to live a comfortable, stress-free retirement. This isn't another get-rich-quick scheme, and unless you win the lottery, I'm not going to share with you how to retire on this 100-foot yacht. These are practical steps that anyone can follow to live freely. Welcome to the channel. My name is Brandon, and this is where we turn personal finance into common sense. If you're enjoying this video and want to learn more, make sure you hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends and family. So let's follow an example through each of these steps. We're going to have a couple here, John and Barb Miller. John and Barb Miller are average at everything when it comes to finances. We'll assume that the Millers are 50 years old and that they have a combined income of $110,000. This is coming from the median income in Canada for someone of their age, which is about $55,000. They have $50,000 saved for retirement across their RSPs, TFSAs, and other retirement accounts. They have $6,000 in a checking account, a house that's worth $500,000 but still has a $200,000 mortgage, and they have consumer debt of $27,000, a car loan of $12,000, a home line of credit of $10,000, and a credit card with a $5,000 balance. Not to worry if this sounds like you. This is normal. And the first thing I would tell this couple is to read The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. A lot of what I'm about to say next is covered in detail in this book. Step number 1, get rid of consumer debt. If you found yourself in a similar situation at 50, 60 years old with little to no retirement savings, then it's likely because you've been living paycheck to paycheck, just collecting credit along the way. And again, this is normal. Nearly half of Canadians are carrying some type of non-mortgage debt. But this can stop today. Assess your financial situation, list out all your non-mortgage debt, and then list out your savings that's not in retirement. Stop contributing to all your retirement accounts and begin paying off your debts from the smallest to the largest one. And what Dave calls this is the debt snowball. Basically, by paying off the smallest debt first, you're going to build momentum and confidence that'll move you into the next one. You're going to drain any non-retirement savings and you're going to throw it at the debt. You're going to attack it with intensity. You're only going to keep a $1,000 emergency fund for anything unusual that comes up along the way. Intensity means that there's no more eating out, no more vacations, no shopping, no golfing, because when you halt all these other things, you can pay off this consumer debt in a matter of months or a couple years max. And now going back to the Millers over here, they have a credit card, $5,000, line of credit, $10,000, and a car note, $12,000. They will take $5,000 of their $6,000 in the checking account and they will knock out the credit card. And again, they're earning $110,000 a year. That's about $9,200 a month, and then take off 25% for taxes. That leaves about $6,875 take-home pay each month. Let's say they need $3,000 a month to pay for the bare necessities: food, water, shelter, transportation. That's going to leave $3,875 to attack this consumer debt. And so here we go. Line of credit, $10,000, gone in under 3 months. And then 3 more months, the car loan, $12,000, also gone. So now the Millers are free of consumer debt in as little as 6 months, and they can breathe freely. So now let's get a timeline going. Here they are at 50 years old, they stop messing around, they stop living paycheck to paycheck. At 65, they want to retire. And now they're only 50 and a half years old and they paid down their consumer debt. The next step is to get on a budget and stick to it. And this step should be done simultaneously with paying down your debts. If you're not already, get a free budgeting app or use Excel to start tracking your income and your expenses. Most people that start using a budget immediately save 5 to 10% on expenses just because they realize they're spending money on things that they don't need, like subscriptions. I've provided some links to my favorite free budgeting apps in the description below, mint.com if you're in Canada, and then the Ramsey Every Dollar Budget if you're in the US. If you prefer to use Excel, I also included a link below for my own personalized budgeting spreadsheet. Not only is a budget going to help you cut expenses, eliminate debt, and save for retirement, but it's going to help you determine how much you'll want to spend in retirement. The next step is to determine your retirement goal. In other words, how much income do you want in retirement? Your new budget is going to help you monitor how much you're spending now so that you have a rough idea of how much you're going to need in retirement. Most advisors suggest that this number is between 60 and 80% of your pre-retirement gross income. And for the Millers over here, we'll say that 70% of 110,000, so that's 77,000 in gross retirement income. This should be plenty because we're going to discuss how they can eliminate their mortgage payment next. Now we're going to take that 77,000 and we're going to reduce it by CPP and OAS. The average Canadian at 65 is receiving $8,600 in CPP and about $8,300 in OAS, and that's per year. Now when we look at that for the Millers, they'll be getting a combined $33,792 through CPP and OAS. That means they'll need $43,200 from their retirement savings each year. And to put this into a lump sum, we're going to use the 4% rule as a rough estimate for the withdrawal rate. So $43,208 divided by 4% is $1,080,000. And so your number could be a lot higher or lower. What you may want to do is just ignore the number altogether and focus on stockpiling as much retirement savings as you can, especially if you're closer to 60 or 65 years old. The next step is going to be to eliminate your mortgage and begin saving for retirement, but at the same time. I'm recommending that you take 15% of your gross income, put that into retirement, and any excess cash is going to go towards your mortgage. And this is going to do two things. One, you're going to take advantage of that investment growth over the next 10 to 15 years. And two, this is going to make sure you eliminate your mortgage payment going into retirement. And again, this is where you're going to be utilizing your budget. You're going to take 15% of your gross income and you're going to allocate that towards your RSPs, TFSAs, and any other pension plans that you have at work. And make sure that you're investing this in a TSX or an S&P 500 index fund or ETF where your money's going to grow at about a 10-11% return. And then any money left over in your budget is going to go towards your mortgage. So looking again at the Millers over here, their take-home pay is $68.75 a month. Let's assuming they're living less intensely on $3,500 a month. 15% of their gross $9,100 a month is going to go into retirement savings. So that means they're saving about $1,375 a month. And this leaves an additional $2,000 that they can put on their mortgage. So let's assume they're already making payments of $1,576 a month on their $200,000 mortgage. It's at a 5% rate of interest with 15 years left. By making an extra $2,000 payment per month, they're going to knock their mortgage out in 5.5 years. So back to the timeline over here, the Millers are now standing at 56 years old. They have a paid-for house and no more consumer debt. Also, by investing that $1,375 per month or $16,500 per year at an 8% rate of return, this takes into account fees and inflation, they've saved $185,000 in retirement in those 5.5 years, and not forgetting that they have starting capital of $50,000. And now the last step is just to continue investing for years to come. And without that house payment, you can be intentional or even intense when it comes to making those investments. Basically, I'm suggesting that you invest as much as you can while being smart about your budget. And now I'm going to take it easy on the Millers. They're debt-free, they got their house completely paid off, and they got things rolling on retirement savings. So let's say they keep living on $3,500 a month. So their after-tax monthly take-home was $68.75 minus the $3,500 a month. That leaves $33.75 for retirement savings. Now, if they invest $33.75 or $40,500 a year for another 9 years, that's until age 65 at an 8% return, with starting capital of that $185,000, they will end up with $875,000 saved at age 65. Now, if they take it the next step and live even more intensely, that would mean they're living on $3,000 a month and investing $38.75. They will come out with $950,000 at age 65. And then if they work and save one additional year, they will have $1,073,000, meaning that they've met their retirement objective. And so to put this back into perspective, the Millers started this journey at age 50. Within 6 months, they paid off their consumer debt. By age 56, they were free of a $200,000 mortgage. By age 66, they had met their retirement goal of $1 million. Yes, there were about 6 years of sacrifice while they paid down consumer debt and the mortgage, but between ages 56 to 66, they lived on $3,000 a month with no payments in the world. And now they're going to take home about $5,000 a month in retirement. They can spend time with family, take on new hobbies, travel the world without the stress of having to make payments. And now you might be better or worse off than the Millers in terms of age, savings, or debt. Therefore, there's a few other things you could consider. 1, consider a lower cost of living area for your retirement. There are often different cities, states, or even countries that you can move to and save thousands in retirement. If you have a larger family home, but there's only 1 or 2 of you living there, consider moving to a smaller house or further from downtown. Oftentimes, this could free up more than $100,000 that you could invest into retirement. Number 3, continue working part-time. I might be too young to comment on this, but I feel like we would lose our sense of purpose if we go from working a 40-hour week to doing absolutely nothing. So it might be worth working part-time, especially in your 60s. There you can live off your CPP and your OAS and allow your investments to grow further. And the moral of the story here is don't ever think that it's too late for you to get started. And the Millers are a perfect example of how you can go from normal to living a stress-free and comfortable retirement. And as always, these are just estimates and 8% returns aren't guaranteed, so be sure to talk to a financial advisor for your own retirement journey. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more retirement tips and tricks, and always remember, pay yourself first.